just a little bit more complicated for you. So for this assignment project, you don't have to actually put a horizon line in, but I do want you to put a vanishing point somewhere in the middle of your 9x12 paper. And this can be the back side of your practice, or this can just be a new sheet of paper. Totally your call. To start, I want to move to my upper left corner above my vanishing point. And I'm just going to make a square. Like that. So that's similar to what you've just got done doing, watching the YouTube video. And now we're going to do our perspective lines to our vanishing point. I would like you to go all the way to your vanishing point, however, using your straight edge. Very important to use your straight edge until you get this type of three-dimensional form. How this is going to differ now is that we're going to see, I want you to see the inside as well as the outside. So I'm going to take my ruler again, and I'm going to make something like a little picture frame, or just a square or a rectangle inside the one that already exists. Still using my straight edge as I go. So you did your first box, then you got your inside one right here. And the reason that we're doing the inside one is now that we can go to this far corner up here and go to your vanishing point. But I want you to stop at that edge. Okay? Now that we have all that done, you just need to end it towards the vanishing point. But instead of ending it way up here, you're going to slide your ruler all the way down towards the bottom. So if you did a vertical line right here, I'm going to ask that you do a vertical line right down there. And if this is a horizontal line here, you're just going to slide your ruler down until you get a horizontal line here. And that last little part, that part can get erased. So sometimes I call this 3D boxes, or I refer to it as veggie straws. You ever had veggie straws? But this is essentially what I want you to do. I want you to make these three-dimensional boxes going all the way around your vanishing point, because as it starts to move, those lines will start to change, and your perspective will become a little bit different. Everything still goes back to your vanishing point, but it's going to change a little bit. I'll show you what that means in a second. The other new part about this is that I want you to shade these. We're going to start moving into value more and more, and learning to shade to start with is going to help out a lot. So to do that, you need to use a number 2 pencil. A wooden one is what I prefer. And you're going to start dark at the bottom, and you're going to slowly try to transition from dark all the way up to light at the top. And the reason I say to use a number 2 wooden pencil is that usually your darks can just, it seems like they can get a little darker, but another reason is that you have more graphite, more pencil lead to work with, so it doesn't take as long. I'll go all the way up, so it's nice and light up top. And you'll notice as I'm going, my pencil strokes are vertical, up and down, up and down, up and down, because the walls of this plane, this side, are up and down, up and down. So now the plane goes side to side. I can't shade very well side to side, so I'm going to turn my paper. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start dark. I'm slowly just going to keep going lighter and lighter and lighter as I move up towards us, the viewer. And what happens with value is that as you get farther away, it gets darker. The things that are close get lighter. So I'll start shading here, and I'll slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter. Up. Same for the inside. This plane goes side to side. Again, I'm not very good at shading that way, so I'm going to move my paper and shade that way. So now you have, this is now one finished box or veggie straw, whatever you'd like. My requirement for you is to do 10 of these all the way around your vanishing point, because it's going to change. So if you remember from the video, they talked about a horizon line. In your imagination, there's one going this way, if our paper's sitting landscape view, and there would be one going this way, if our paper is sitting in the portrait view. That's going to affect the way that your boxes look. So now I'm going to do one. I'll do one right here. It's going to be cutting through one of those horizon lines. So I'll just start my square. Still using my straight edge for everything. And please do use your straight edge or ruler. I will know if you don't, and I'll get grumpy. So I'm just going to start making my picture frame right away because I know that that's what I'm going to need. I'm going to need to have that eventually. I'll make this line a little dark. It's hard to see. Okay, so we have that now. I will now take my corner going onto my vanishing point, corner to my vanishing point. I can't really do this one because I'll cut through my box, and I can't really do this one because I'll cut through my box. So now instead, this side has two planes showing. We only see this one side of this one. So I'll slide my ruler down, cut off my box somewhere, like there, like that. But what's nice now is that because we have the inside view, I can now do two of my corners. So I'll go from one here, because I'm not cutting through anything, and I'll do this corner down. So now we have two sides on this one on the inside, but now we can see 1, 2, 3 sides if you're actually overlapping horizon lines. And then I would like you to do the same thing as before. It's just starting dark and then starting to move toward us, the viewer, and getting lighter. And shading is it takes a while to learn. It's not something that usually just comes naturally to most people. So you may need to work at that a little bit, but that's another point of this, is just to learn. So nice and dark on the inside, on the bottom, and I'm going to start moving out towards the very edges. Same for these two sides. My wall goes up and down. I will shade up and down, same direction. That's usually what I see get wrong the most, is that someone will shade in the wrong direction. So now I have two of these. The expectation is a minimum of 10 going all the way around your vanishing point. Once you're done with drawing them all and shading them all, you can color the background in color pencil. And that using that contrast of color pencil to graphite is going to make these look even more three-dimensional. Once you completed all this, then you will be moving on to our one-point perspective names, but not until you finish.